Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about null tests. So later on I'm going to be making some videos about DAW internal summing tests that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be posting videos about the results as well as the kind of technique as to how I tested the different DAWs. But what it requires as far as the DAW testing, it requires me to use null testing in order to be more scientific in the approach. Now, it's better if everybody knows what a null test is, and so that everybody's kind of on the same page. So I figured I'd do this kind of this video about what it is, why it's useful, and then how to do it on your computer for yourself even. So now I have this drum loop here, so let's first kind of just get some things out of the way. We have a file that is stored on digital. It's stored in a digital audio file. Now the information that's on this file is peaks in the positive and peaks in the negative. Now that translates directly to a speaker as being the speaker cone pushing out and the speaker cone pushing in. Now this is all in digital form right now, which then gets translated into analog form, which ends up pushing the speakers. Right now it's in the in digital format, so all of this information is in bits. It's in numbers right now. The numbers is what tells the analog gear what to do. Now, because everything is stored in numbers, theoretically, if I would take this exact same sound source and flip the polarity on a second duplicated track, then the positive peaks are going to be the exact same as the negative peaks in the phase reversed version, so that when those two files are played together and they're combined, there would be a zero sum total across the whole sample, meaning there would be no audio coming out of the output bus. Now I'll quickly demonstrate that. So let's just hear what this drum loop is. And just so we know there's no smoke and mirrors going on, I mute it. This is the only file here. Now let's duplicate this track. Now we have the exact same track twice. And if I play these together, because it's not phase reversed yet, these positive peaks are going to combine and these negative peaks are going to combine, making it twice as loud as just having one of them. Now I'll demonstrate that. So you can hear that's twice as loud. Now, this is not just theoretical stuff. It is all about the math, but it's in the physical world as well. So let's just kind of get this processed here. I'll phase reverse this guy. So now you see this thing has now flipped. The positive peaks have now become the negative peaks. Now when I play these two sound sources together, we get nothing. This is a null test. You're taking two audio sources and you're phase reversing one of them and seeing if you can hear anything from the output. Now I'll get the mixer window here so we can see. Here we see the meters registering that there is stuff going on in both of these tracks, and on the output bus we see zero, nothing. There's nothing on the frequency analyzer, there's nothing here. Now if we were to solo one of these, that would mean that we're not getting combined regular audio file and phase reversed file, we're getting just one of them. So either one of these is going to sound, first of all, it's going to sound the exact same to our ears, but it's going to output in the almost the exact same way. Just one of them is phase reversed, and combining them equals 0. Now, this is easy right now because this is in digital format. This is all exactly the same. And when I phase reverse, I'm phasing reverse in exactly the same way, canceling it out perfectly. Phase reversing is also, nulling or whatever, phase cancellation, that's the right word, happens in the analog physical world as well. So when you have two sound sources that are the exact same, and you stand in the exact middle of those sound sources, there's going to be a dead spot in that middle point because the air molecules are being pushed together at the same frequency and in the same amplitude, meaning they're both going to meet at a certain point in the air where the air molecules are pushing against each other in the exact same frequency and at the exact same amplitude, meaning it'll just have a dead spot. Now, to test this kind of a thing that I'm explaining, you have to have like a very controlled, like a laboratory or something to demonstrate this. But it's true in the physical realm. It's true and easily demonstrable in the digital world here. Now, so hopefully everybody kind of understands what's going on, and I'm hoping that everybody believes me that there's no magic going on behind the scenes. This is what a null test is, and this is how you do it. Now, this is important to use, this null test, whenever you're kind of trying to demonstrate a point. If you're trying to demonstrate, especially in this case, if you're trying to demonstrate whether DAWs sound differently or not, you have to do a null test because, first of all, our psychological stuff going on is when you're hearing sound sources, you can't just trust your ear and know which one is different from the other, or know which one is exactly the same sound as the other. And I'll kind of just demonstrate this by changing EQ on here. This is probably the easiest way to show. Now, if I play these two together, because I've just EQ'd this, these two files are now not the same thing. So they're phase reversed. I'm hearing what is different between the two files. If I put this way tiny, you can kind of just barely hear what's going on. I'll solo the first one. That's loud. And what we hear now, that's the difference between these two files. Now, if I solo either one of these, you see I'm flipping the solos, so we're hearing only one or only the other. If you can tell me that you can hear the difference between that, you're crazy. No human hearing can tell the difference of that slight amount of EQing between these audio files. That's our psychology. When you see it on the screen and you know they're different, you start to hear it because you're telling yourself that you can hear the difference. But I'm pretty sure no human could ever hear the difference by playing these two sound sources. Even if we did a blind test, if we A-B'd, we called this file A and this file B, and then file B we know is an EQ'd version and this is the flat version. And you could play, let's say, file A, stop it, play file A again, stop it, play file A again, stop it, play file B, stop it, and then ask an individual who is blind testing to say whether any of them are different. They'll probably just say, no, they're not different because I don't hear a difference and I can't tell the difference because this is a blind test and it's so minusculely different, right? So kind of what I'm trying to get across here is that these null tests are the kind of absolute scientific truth here. When we're combining these, one of them phase reversed, we know that these two files are not the same. They are the same without the EQ, but because everything around that is so the EQ is changing frequencies, everything that is not different, everything that is the same is just not being heard right now. So all we hear is the difference between these two files. Now it's really easy to hear it because it's soloed, and this null test really easily demonstrates that these two files are now not the same. So that's why null tests are so important, first of all, why they're so useful to demonstrate stuff like this. And I hope you guys know now how to do it, why it's important, why it's way more scientific than using your ears. It's even more scientific than doing blind tests. Even though blind tests are a good scientific way of testing stuff, you cannot do the same thing as a null test with those blind tests. So anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys understand what's going on, and later on I'm going to be doing, like I said, those DAW internal summing tests, which requires this null testing. I also am going to be doing a kind of demonstration between internal summing, and this Yamaha mixer, rack mountable mixer that I just picked up, Yamaha M406, which has an EQ and some nice preamps on there. I'm going to be doing some tests between internal summing on, let's say, Cubase or whatever DAW, between that and this analog, as well as a Dangerous Music D-Box that I was able to do some summing on. So yeah, so I look forward to doing those because I really want to get down to the bottom of all of that kind of mystery and misinformation that I've been seeing on the internet. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this, and we will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.